The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yekel Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.
Welcome to Postcards. I'm Dana Johnson. Today we're joining the James Sewell Ballet at a Center for the Arts in Fergus Falls. Since 1992, the James Sewell Ballet has been dazzling Minnesota audiences with their charm and energy. We are proud to bring you this groundbreaking performance from a ballet company that will show us dance in a way that we've never seen before.
You know, for me as a dancer, it all started way before I started dancing. As a kid, I played violin and I did gymnastics competitively for a long time, and then I got really into magic. So when I was about 15, I told my dad I wanted to be a professional magician when I grew up, and he took me somewhat seriously. So I went to the Children's Theater School to help my magic skills, and once I was there, the magic was kind of in the background, and I was in plays there and at the Guthrie Theater, but dance was something that was a required class. And it combined the athleticism of the gymnastics, the music, the performance stuff, the magic. It all kind of came together for me right there with the dancing. And so I started taking 20 classes a week in ballet, and a year and a half later, I was dancing professionally in New York with American Ballet Theater's Second Company at 17.
I started dancing when I was 8 years old in a school in Minneapolis. Towards the end of high school, I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go to college full-time, explore some of my other interests, if I wanted to try to do both, and I actually did do both for a while. I was working full-time as a dancer all through college, and I have my degree now in English, but I continue to love dancing. It's my passion, and I want that to be my career for a while.
We're a contemporary ballet company. What that means to me is that we're ballet-based. We do a ballet class every day. That's our technical base, but then we're combining other things with it. One of the things that we do that a lot of ballet companies don't do is use improvisation as one of our tools for making work, but also on stage there are elements of improvisation. Is that something I've seen evolve in the work? And I think that's something that more and more we're going to see more companies and choreographers being influenced in that way within the ballet world.
The performance that we're going to do tonight is a really fun one. We start with a piece that's more like the classical contemporary work that James does, and it's really athletic and fun. And then after intermission, we're doing a series of pieces to music that was all made in America. That's the name of the suite of pieces we're doing. I believe some of the local dance kids from this area are going to be performing with us, which is always great to connect with that local audience and give student dancers a chance to perform with a professional company. That's a really, really important step in the creation of a dancer.
Dance is a great way to build community. You know, it used to be the model was you would have a one-night stand. You'd book those and you'd go into community, you'd show up, you'd do your show, and you'd be gone. Nowadays, there's a wonderful emphasis on getting into a community, going to schools, having interactive workshops with people, and so you really start to become a part of the community. And now what we've started doing more, especially in Minnesota here, is having real long-term community building where we have relationships. We've been here now to Fergus Falls, I think 7 or 8 times over the years. And I know these people here, and they know me. We come, we've got friendships that are developing and growing, and that really is special when that starts to happen. And the students, they'll be performing tonight, you know. It makes it so easy for me to then come in and know how to work with the kids. I've seen them in years past, and I see, oh, how much have they grown in the past year, and then how I can use them in a new way. And they already have a sense of what my style is and how they can work with me. So by doing that, it makes something like what we have tonight on the show, the performances with them, that would not be possible if it weren't for the past work we've done with them.
Performing with James, it's a really great opportunity. Most companies or studios probably don't get to have this chance, and James has such great insight and great input, and it's just been a wonderful experience. Working with a professional company, you have to learn to pick up steps quickly. We, throughout a week, learned the piece we're doing tonight, and it's different compared to the weeks that we take on pieces.
With my choreography, and if people who are real ballet fans, they'll recognize some ballet in there, but then they'll see a lot of things that's not ballet. And then I think a lot of other people will just see fun dancing, and they won't, you don't have to worry about what it is. That's what I'm trying to do, is get away from the labels. When I'm making work, I don't think, oh, I've got to stick with this or that. I'm just in the moment to moment thinking, what's going to serve this moment? How am I going to express what is needed through the body's range?
One thing that's very common in James's ballets is something that he calls multiple coordinations, and it's basically like taking a movement but then adding a 3 against a 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I can't do this very well, but one thing he likes to show is a sharp square against a circle. It's basically more advanced versions of those physical brain teasers you maybe did as a kid. I don't know if I can really put into concise, clear terms why I love dance so much. It's more just, it feels right when I do it. It's exciting. I love the aspect of performing. I really enjoy that. I just love it. I mean, I always want to do well, but I look forward to performing, even if, the stage isn't ideal or I have some sort of injury or whatever. Once I'm on stage, that doesn't matter. It kind of just melts away into the background, and I almost get a high off performing. It's just a really, really great feeling.
I think people who are creative find the way, and I think in terms of everybody's creative, and people find the way that they can get their feelings out. Some people it's in their diary. Some people it's through cooking. For me, it's through moving. I like to engage with my body, and I'm in touch with that part of me. So when I want to express something, that's the way it comes out. And I, as a kid, was a gymnast. So I think that athletic part is how, as a kid, I learned to kind of express and enjoy just that feeling of moving. Big is stuck with me.
I definitely believe that everyone can find something they appreciate in dance.
Dancing is moving. Everybody moves, right? Everybody has the instrument of dance. And how much they do with that, that's a personal thing. It doesn't have to be ballet to be dancing. People who do ballroom or two-step or whatever it is. I think everybody can have fun moving, but especially I think seeing dance. Everybody can enjoy that. I think right now, the So You Think You Can Dance and those kind of shows have a new resurgence of interest in dance. But a lot of times people think, oh yeah, well I like that, but I wouldn't want to go to the ballet. Ballet has gotten this sort of bad rap culturally that it's this boring, stuffy thing. And it's kind of been a mission of mine is to change people's view of that. That what we will do sometimes the classical pas de deux as an excerpt, but we don't tend to do that 19th century dance. We're a ballet company, we're based out of that technique, but we're combining, jazz and modern dance and hip hop and, anything else I might think of, to music that's contemporary, that they recognize, that they like, and with themes that are relevant for today's audiences. We do really well with the dragged husbands. The people who think, oh, please don't make me go. And then we get these wonderful reports that come back and say, I actually like that. They're surprised that they had fun. You know, and a lot of our shows have things that are funny. And people don't expect to laugh when they go to the ballet. But here they do. One of the things that, you know, people focus on the work of the choreographer, but it doesn't happen without the dancers. I have an amazing group of individual artists that when we're making the work, they have a huge impact on what that is. And each night, they're the ones that kind of bring that to life as it happens. So without them, I'm nothing, literally.
Next, we continue our journey in Fergus Falls by joining the Fergus Falls School of Dance on their recent tour, where we'll take a lesson in dance and learn about the importance of this art in local communities.
Right now we're here at the Fergus Falls School of Dance in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, downtown Minnesota.
The Fergus Falls School of Dance tries to share the passion of dance with quality dance education. We are concerned with teaching dance as an art form. We're not into competitions. We just want people to learn the aesthetic of dance and to value quality and look at the world in a more open-minded state, to be disciplined and learn respect for themselves and other people, and to enjoy moving.
I think that the opportunity to study dance in a setting like the Fergus Falls School of Dance for these young women gives them a lot of confidence. A number of them come to us and they're not confident. It's the skill building that they have to work on, it's the discipline. They also learn about dance history, and just the ability to be able to stand in front of people and speak with their bodies about what they're trying to communicate to people. I really feel that that's an important aspect of the skills that we build. It's something that's unique to the way it happens is unique to the School of Dance.
The Fergus Falls School of Dance is very special in that Ramona and Mary they have a lot of experience and they bring that to us and they portray that through us. And we have a lot of great technique here at the School of Dance, where we have a lot of variety also with point, ballet, we have modern, jazz, tap. We've done a little bit of hip hop. We do pretty much everything. It's really unique in that way.
Our best dancers in the school audition to be part of the cast for Dance and Dessert, which is a performance we do, a fundraiser for the Center for the Arts, our local theater. And we do a show in December, and then that show goes on the road a little bit. And today we're taking it to Underwood schools. We've been invited to come and do a performance, so we take select pieces from our December show and some other things that we've pulled together and perform for the schools. So it's quite the production to go on tour. We have to get the dance floor, which we rent from the Center for the Arts. And a dance floor is a vinyl floor specifically made for dance. You roll it out, tape it down, and then the dancers have a real predictable surface that's not too slippery or not too sticky, which is occasionally a problem. And so the dance floor is heavy. The rolls weigh over 100 pounds each, so you've got 4 rolls that you have to transport. You have to transport your sound system and all the costuming, and it's quite a production, and everyone pulling together to do what has to be done. Since we don't have a separate tech crew, the dancers themselves pitch in and make it happen.
We set up the mats and we did a bunch of run-throughs of the rehearsed a little bit of the dances to get sound and to get the timing down kind of, and spacing for sure, because it's a different space. We've never danced there before. And we performed for the Underwood School.
When we go on these tours and the dancers have to perform in front of their peers, I think it's one of the most difficult experiences they have as performers. because, you know, they're putting themselves out there. They're vulnerable to the criticism that maybe someone in their peer group might have for them.
Dancing in front of the high school today at Underwood, it's a little different audience than the ones that would come to a typical dance performance and like buy tickets to come. It's more, with high school students, it's a lot different because they're not used to dance and they're not used to the different styles like point and modern and ballet, and they're not used to all the different techniques. And from what they see in like music videos, it's a lot different from point dancing.
Performing in front of my peers is definitely different than normal performances just because you know that you see them more often, but it's an interesting experience, especially when later they tell you about what they saw, and it's kind of rewarding later.
It was really fun to dance in front of peers and people our own age because they usually don't see us. They don't know what we do. Like we dance every day, and some people don't know that. So it's fun to show them what we do. And a lot of other kids get to show their talents with sporting events, and a lot of students go to sporting events. But we have like just a couple shows a year, so not as many students get to see us dance.
With the Center for the Arts collaboration, they bring in professional companies to perform at the center, and then we get master classes and chances to work with the different companies. And the James Sewell Company has been coming to Fergus many, many times. I think they've been here at least 6, if not more, over the years. And they're so wonderful to work with. And James has been very generous with his time and his effort and has worked with our dancers on different collaborations.
I think this is the 4th time that they've worked with some of our students to do choreography. And then James took that choreography and sort of morphed it into something different, which was really fun. It was a great process for us, for all of us to observe or dance in.
On the center line, we'll go. And
he is a master choreographer, and so he has all these skills that he can say, let's do it this way, let's do, change that here, make it into a canon, switch the directions. So they took movement they already knew and made something totally different to it with different music and put it on the stage, and they got to perform it when the James Sewell Company was here in Fergus and performed. Our dancers got to perform that piece that James had made for them, remixed for them with the company.
James Sewell's really fun to work with. He has a really fun personality, and he's really energetic in the way he teaches and moves and everything, so it's really fun.
He internalizes everything and just knows how everything should work out, and it's just so cool to watch him.
Maybe from the wrap in.
Well, anytime they get to work with someone who's a professional like James Sewell, he has so much knowledge and he's so generous about sharing it, and they learn from his example of what's possible. It's like a whole different way of looking at what you can just do by changing counts and changing directions and being exposed to the creativity of his mind and how he thinks of these things that, like, oh, that works wonderfully, where you never, I wouldn't have thought of it, they wouldn't think of it, but they see what's possible by working with him.
Straightforward and through, no angle. How'd that feel? Okay, so there's then it's absolutely...
I've taught at the Fergus Falls School of Dance for 17 years, and I've taught everything at the Fergus Falls School of Dance. I've taught ballet, jazz, modern, tap. I was in charge of the children's dance program. I've taught adults. I've taught Latin Pulse. I've taught all kinds of things. Right now, I'm teaching more in the realm of jazz dance and modern, most recently. Those are probably where my comfort level is the most, but I still love teaching. I think dance is really important for all ages, so I like teaching all ages, and I have a great respect for Ramona Jacobs because she does teach ballet, and that's a very difficult dance form to teach, and it's very important to the students that we have coming through the program. If they are able to study ballet, they can go anywhere with their dance.
I am the only ballet teacher currently here. I love ballet, but I also have a modern degree and I teach modern, and I am in the Netherlands in between the two. Some ballet people think I'm too modern and modern people think I'm too balletic, and I love them both.
My favorite kind of dance is probably ballet or pointe because I just love how it makes you feel and the feeling of flying.
Ballet has a long history and it came out of the courts of kings, so it's got a formality and it has a decorum and an elegance to it that set it apart. That's very much part of the intrinsic structure of it. It's very linear and very precise in how things are meant to go through the body. Tends to be more upright, whereas modern goes into the floor everywhere, upside down, inside out, and is more about internal potentials. Ballet is very difficult to do well. The female dancers wanted to be able to look like they were flying. They wanted to look like they were floating, like they were just barely on the floor. And so they started raising up onto the very tips of their toes. And the dancers started reinforcing the shoe to give them more support to do that.
This is a pointe shoe, and there's the silk with the harder toe, and it's hard, and so you can actually be supported when you're dancing. And then the back has the frame right here, and it is used to help support your heel and your ankle when you go up.
I love the beauty of it, and I love to fly. I love jumping. It's one of my favorite things. And so the ability to just fly through the air and push is a fun thing for me. And just to create beauty. I like the discipline, I like the body half element of it, of being very, there's a black and whiteness to it that has a nice comforting place.
Ramona and Mary are our two main teachers here, and they've been a huge influence in my life. And ever since I started with Ramona in like first grade, she taught me a lot, and they're always there for us, no matter what. If it's school or if it's anything, they'll just be there for us.
I love teaching the students because I'm always learning from them. It's fun to be around them, and the older I get, I keep ending up having another little one who's so talented and who's so fun, and you go, oh no, I can't retire for another 10 years until that one's out of high school. Just the chance to watch these kids grow up and to watch them bloom. I always think they're like beautiful flowers that open up and show us what's inside. And you can see hints of it when they're younger, and it's just really fun to see them find their strength and find how they can really express who they are, and you see that inner beauty come out.
That's all for this week. Now we leave you with a postcard from Willmar, Minnesota. Thanks again for watching on Postcards.
Some folks are sinners and some folks are saints. Here's what you are and you ain't what you ain't. Sands in the hourglass, time runs out. You get one shot, you gotta make it count. You get one shot, you gotta make it count. You play your banjo, you sing your song, you dance like a fool all night long. You never let a soul in this world put you in your place, and you never let a day go to waste. The sun comes up and the sun goes down. The hands on the clock spin round and round. The secret to life is simply this: you gotta find what you love and you follow your bliss. Find what you love and you follow your bliss. You play your banjo, you sing your song, you dance like a fool all night long. You never let a soul in this world put you in your place. You gotta play your banjo and sing your song, dance like a fool all night long. You never let a soul put you in your place, and you never let it dig you to waste.
This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yekel-Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.